right, 89 degrees Fahrenheit. We're at 5,294 miles on the odometer. It is a Sunday, October 27th. 4 days before Halloween. Well, 3.5 days to be honest. Stopping on the Isbell. Ooh, kind of cutting it close. Looks like we have Denmark Lawn. We hang holiday lights. 817-484-8522. 817-484-8522. Also, there's a garage sale happening on 4241 Denon. It's probably down that way. And welcome to the Please Subscribe show. There's several backyard sales and garage sales. I think that said garage sale. I don't know. I thought it said backyard sale. Maybe it was just a garage sale. Well, there's front yard sales. I don't even know why I said a backyard sale. It looked like it said backyard. I don't know. I just saw it up on my peripheral. But anyway, there are garage sales out there. So they're to be had. And this should be, I think this should be the first part of the vlog. There's a little bit of pre-vlog of us doing karaoke. Well, we didn't do karaoke. The line was too long. Linda tried to cut, but they were like, nope, you got to write your name down. It goes into a little thing. You put into a number, and you got to wait your turn. So I told her there's rules to karaoke. Yeah, you put your name either in a dish or on a list. Then when your name is called, it's your time to shine. Your time to shine. We have possibly, and I won't tell you the complete plans, but there are microphones there. I'll just put it that way. Anyway, come by the Butterfly. And we're headed off to delivery.
(7:26) arrival, 7 minutes, 2.7 miles. There's been an update recently. We did 35.1 miles yesterday. All right, everybody. Apple did a new update, 18.0.1 for iOS. That's the operation system for Apple. And what this did is it affected Apple Car, and it would not allow, it basically doesn't allow you to speak while using Apple Car. So in this section of it right here, I'm talking about the movie that I'm going to do called A Cat Named Crook. I'm also talking about Marlon Brando. And Marlon Brando, towards the end of his career, did a lot of improv. He's basically improving. And he didn't really like using a script, so he did loosely use the script, but he believed in not memorizing the lines to a certain degree. And they would put an earpiece in his ear, so they would tell him what to say, and then he would say it. And I wrote a scene, or basically I wrote part of the movie for Linda, because she'd be playing a character named Kitty, and a lot of the action would be improv. Which I think is great, because in a lot of movies that's how it is anyway, because they don't really write all the action for the actor. So that's kind of what I was talking, and also a cross-reference Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, because he does write action in one of the scenes, but I'll talk about it later, and it's the scene where they're all drinking beer underneath in this basically like this bar. And it's when he counts, when the Englishman accidentally counts wrong on his hand, and he goes, 1, 2, 3, and he tells him, in Germany, in German they count with their thumb for eins, and he counts with his finger. So that was like written dialogue that revealed action. So, I was like using as an example is that in a movie there can be written dialogue that reveals action. And I said that a couple times in it, and I just wanted to cross-reference that because Shakespeare did it, and, things like that. So I think a lot of the action should probably be improv. In most cases, it is. You can't write all the action for the actor. It would just be insane.
They got whiskey and wine here on Friday nights. That's on touchscreen. I thought it was touchscreen. It's really cool. It's the Omni Hotel. These paintings are amazing. They've got them on almost like every wall right here. They have them on these walls too. Right here, this one's amazing. But I don't see an art. Oh yeah, there's an artist. Like it's actually a painting. It's dedicated to Fort Worth, Texas. Looks like watercolor, maybe. There's a name in it, if you can understand that name. We got 5 of them. And those are really, really good paintings of the sky. Cool.
Right, so we're pulling out here. I have the USB cable connected to the iPhone. I have an iPhone 11. It's muting out sound right now because of the recent Apple update, which I updated last night. So I'll sit there and probably talk. I'm probably most likely talking about, I don't know, probably A Cat Named Crook, the movie that I'm coming up with. And I am probably going to script it. And once I get the MacBook Pro, we'll start filming scenes here and there, and I'll throw it together. It's probably going to be, I've thought about making it a short, like 30 minutes, and I thought about maybe even going like to 45 minutes. But I do have it slightly, I have one or two characters already, have the actors cast. So most likely I'm probably talking about Marlon Brando right here. Could be talking about Quentin Tarantino. Inglourious Basterds is what I was talking about. And most of the scene where the guy counts 1, 2, 3 and goes, and realizes that the English spy is not actually from Deutschland. And that's because it's like written dialogue that also covers action. So yeah, I wanted to keep all this, and I thought, well, okay, I'll just lay it over with narration, because I'm thinking, okay, everything you're hearing me say right now, you can hear me speak. And if you look right there, you can see the car apples plugged in. So in the future in the show, because of this update, you're not going to see a lot of Apple Car. I've got to remember to say Apple Car and not Car Apple. I always say Car Apple. It's just kind of a bad habit I have. But it's Apple Car. And that's what you can see on the screen right here that I'm talking. And Apple Car is kind of the star right now. But it won't be anymore. Apple Car won't be anymore. Okay. It'll most likely be this thing I have called Kia Connect, which constantly shows the mapping system of where I'm at. So this particular vehicle that I'm driving right here has its own GPS, which is known as Kia Connect. And I do show it a little bit in this. If you continue to watch this vlog, you'll see Kia Connect and the mapping system that way, which is more of a general mapping system that not everybody knows. But if you're looking there, you see there I was talking about Quentin Tarantino right there. I'm saying 1, 2, 3, and it's like the English guy revealing himself as a spy because he did not count with his thumb first, going 1, 2, 3, right there. See, 1, 2, 3. I did it again. 1, 2, 3. And I talk about Inglourious Basterds and how Quentin Tarantino's like William Shakespeare kind of thing. And then I talk about Marlon Brando and the earpiece that he wore during Don Juan, that he didn't really like scripts that much. And I think that most action is improv anyway. You know, we don't write it all down, or the script would be like thousands of pages long. It would be insane. So it's usually kind of hinted in the dialogue, and it gives you some action. Many scripts are that way, or it's written to a certain degree. And then I'm probably mentioning A Cat Named Crook, which is a movie I'm working on, and Linda probably playing most likely a mute character named Kitty, where a lot of the action is not even scripted, so it'd just be improv. So it'd be a good time for her to improv. She's great with improv, only she'd be doing it physically. Much probably like Holly Hunter did in The Piano. If you've ever seen The Piano, Jane Campion, beautiful film. Or is it Jane Campion? Jane Campion. I have a bad habit of calling Jane Campion, even though she is a champion. Anyway, so I just wanted to lay this narration down here to let you know that my voice is being heard. Apple Car is not going to win. The actor will overthrow in the end. The apple is important, but not as important as the actor. So the actor, in my opinion, in this world today, will overcome all technology, even Apple Car.
So if we keep this unplugged right here, then we can have sound. But if we plug this in and use Car Apple, it'll mask. So your Car Apple right now, because of the update that was just done, will mask the dialogue that you're speaking when you're plugged in with Car Apple. I just now figured it out. So the announcements and all that stuff that you see here on the amount would be done in silent. So you'd see it, and I'd be able to say it and then plug it in. So they just now did that today. So you're hearing it now. 3 minutes, 6:53 p.m., 1 mile. Now we'll connect. And we're going into mute.
La-da-dee-da-dee-dee-da. Now, does that mean that the actor has to, like, work with Apple Car? Okay, now let's see what goes on here. So it's reading the USB. All right, hang on. And this is not connected. We'll see if there's sound right here, so just give me a second. I'm just doing narration right now, so I'm doing voiceover. So why did Apple Car mute out sound when you're plugged in? Because they wanted to be more dangerous, that's why.
So it looks like they have a little Mickey Mouse with pumpkin right there. And there's the witches. And that is recorded on sound. All right, notes I made about Linda playing. So what I was saying was Marlon Brando. This was about improvisation. So towards Marlon Brando's later career, they put an earpiece in his ear during like Don Juan and stuff. And he didn't really care what was written on the script, so he would just improv. But they would feed him his lines through an earpiece. But what I was saying was in physicality, mostly that's improv in most scripts. There's not a lot of physicality, it's mostly dialogue. An example would be Quentin Tarantino. Shakespeare did the same thing too. And if you remember the scene where they're playing cards in the basement and the young German guy is having a child and they're playing this guessing game with the cards and they're drinking beer. Well, one of the spies gives himself away by how he counts. So he's supposed to be a German, but he's actually English. And he goes, 1, 2, 3. That's not what Germans do. They go, 1, 2, 3. So figure out that they're a German. That's writing the physicality into the dialogue as well. But it's not done very often in scripts. Most physicality is improv. So that's what I was saying with Linda. It would be good because she would be playing a mute because she could improv a lot of that. and it would be, it would be good. I think it would be good for her, for the role of, I believe the role, it was masked out. Apple masked it out by doing an update, but I believe I said earlier that the role's name was Kitty. Right, there's Bird and there's Kitty and then there's Hopperhead, all that stuff. $7:03, 7 minutes, 2.9.
7:09 arrival, 6 minutes, 2.1 mile.
All right, we got ourselves a nice skyline. 2.0 mile. 2.0 mile, 6 minutes, 8:14. Tester. Testing 1, 2, and 3. Testing 1, 2, and 3.